His opponent, wrestling out of Kuwata, New Japan, weighing 209 pounds. He is the new Ring of Honor Pure Wrestling Champion, Katsuyori Shibata.
One of the most surprising results at Supercard of Honor Caprice was Katsuyori Shibata returning to Ring of Honor in a Pure Rules Pure Championship bout, dethroning the only two-time champion Wheeler Yuta.
I'll tell you what, it seems kind of nice to have somebody called the Wrestler as the Pure Champion. You know they're going to hold those Pure Rules, and they're going to follow them well. Christopher Daniels has his hands full as he can make history, but he has to beat the Wrestler to do that.
You see the Pure Championship there, Nigel, and certainly speaking to the man with the most days, most defenses of the Pure Championship, you know these rules quite well.
One could make an argument I was synonymous with that title. Look that word up if you want, Caprice.
Well, I know it means dishonorable.
As we take
I would suggest you do look it up then if that's the case. Be that as it may, Pure title rules, 3 rope breaks, 2 closed fists will be a disqualification, lose the title, and of course the title can be lost on a count out as well.
And Nigel, you really took advantage of the count-out rules. I remember when you faced Christopher Daniels, you actually you tossed a photographer in front of Christopher Daniels to retain the title in Dayton, Ohio in 2005.
Certainly did. Maybe in the last time Christopher Daniels challenged for the title, and be that as it may, certainly I hope he learnt something from that experience. But certainly Daniels experienced, tenured, and very capable. One of the men who put Ring of Honor on the map. In fact, when I first started in the company, he was one of the guys that I watched. This is a man I have to try to beat to get good in this company.
You see a high wrist lock here, Caprice. You love Katsuyori Shibata's style. Coming out last Friday, Supercard of Honor. What do you think he's looking to do to Daniels today?
It's that no nonsense style that he has, man. He's not here to entertain the crowd. He's just here to wrestle. He's playing chess. He wants to see what Daniels is going to do. He's going to react to it. He has a game plan in mind. He's somebody that can change the game plan mid-match, no matter what's going on there. He's a very smart guy. He's riding Daniels here. Now Daniel has to get away. There you go.
Nigel, we saw briefly Christopher Daniels protecting his neck. We know Shibata can look for that sleeper. He can look for various submissions. Christopher Daniels has a historically bad neck. Do you risk opening up a different part of your body if you protect another?
Very much so, indeed. You mentioned the human game of chess, as the late, great Gordon Soley would call it, and certainly you protect one part and it puts a bullseye on another. Certainly when you're in there with a competitor like Shibata, he can pick you apart, one body part by another.
Keeps going back. The double wrist lock into the waist lock. Now a chin lock here. Flush across the cheekbone, the jawbone, putting pressure on that septum, making it difficult to breathe for Daniels. The knee, what does that feel like, Caprice, as the knee's driven into the spine?
Shibata is testing Daniels' neck out. That's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to find a wear-down spot, seeing what's weak. He's tried the neck. He might go to the knees. Next, you see the judges there. Shibata's trying to find a weakness, see where Daniels is weak at. And Daniels is still doing the same thing. It's still very early in this matchup.
Taking things easily, carefully. Both competitors here, almost a feeling out process. Certainly don't want to make a mistake, lose a rope break earlier in the match. When I was champion, that would be my goal earlier in the match. Irritate your opponent close to the ropes. Hold on a second.
Look at that. Figure four.
Right in the center.
Absolutely. Daniels audibly frustrated.
Yeah, you know Daniels' knees are definitely in a lot of trouble.
Well, we saw this, didn't we, in the match with Yuta, how Yuta spent a lot of time trying to get out of the figure four leg lock. He endured a lot of damage because of that. Whereas, as I said, perhaps the best decision would be get to the ropes as soon as you possibly can.
And the thing about the figure four leg lock is once it's locked in, the damage is done.
You see Daniels trying to get to the ropes. It's Shibata bringing him back to the ropes now in an interesting position, because as he tries to counter, his shoulders go to the mat. As Daniels trying to physically press out of it, as Shibata just keeps wrenching it in.
Now I got something to ask you, Nigel. Would it be smart for Nigel to let Daniels grab the ropes to get a rope break?
You mean Shibata? Yeah, absolutely. You should certainly let him grab the ropes. That would be very smart. But if I was in the hold right now, I was putting my opponent in the hold, I would almost position my opponent so he could do that. So he'd have no choice but to do that. And that's exactly what Daniels looks like he's doing. Yeah.
That is rope break number 1 used by Christopher Daniels.
And these rules so unique, Nigel. You used the rules. You knew the rules inside and out. And like you said, there was men like Doug Williams, John Walters, and yourself that really mastered the art of getting your opponents to essentially waste their rope breaks early in the bout so that you could pin or submit them in on between underneath the ropes.
It's a beautiful style.
Look for the PK, nobody
match.
home.
Nope.
Wow. Hyperextends the knee of Shibata.
Daniels had that scouted.
And Daniels right to the back of the head. And that head, remember,
right, the neck.
Shibata, the head, the neck, required emergency surgery that almost cost him not only his career, but his life just a few years ago.
Yeah, even that chop is precision to place right there. In
Nasty
the neck
now,
area.
yeah. Focusing on the head and neck. And one might question, you know, whether this is really fair from Daniels.
No!
With the Ring of Honor Pure title on the line, anything goes.
Those open hands. I know referee Mike Posey has been educated on the risks of this match for Shibata. Specifically, his previous health history is a cover here. Hooks the leg. 2.
Well, it's no secret what Christopher Daniels is going after now. Straight at Shibata's neck. He hit him with the knee to distract him, and now he's been focusing on the head and neck area ever since then.
Shot to this midsection here. As Shibata trying to get back to his feet. He does. Caught. Oh! Plants him down. Flatliner.
Trying for it. Got it. The Koji clutch. Straight in the center of the ring.
And looking to lock those hands.
Now let's see what Shibata does in this predicament. Does he try to escape? Does he try to get to the ropes?
And after all the damage that Christopher Daniels has already done to Shibata's neck, you know that Shibata's already in a lot of pain. He's fighting through so much adversity, and he seems to be so far away from the ropes except for his legs. I hope he knows his positioning in the ring.
And I love what Daniels is doing right here. You see him moving that shoulder so that he avoids the pin. What Shibata did so well against Yuta was he broke up Yuta's submission attempts by rolling Yuta into a pin. I think that was a mark of slight inexperience or experience edge from Shibata. Daniels not falling for it here.
Yeah, he's dispersing his weight evenly, making it hard for Shibata to do anything.
This is taking a lot of energy out of Daniels as well. You can see the position that Daniels is in. He's got to maintain this hold where it's very difficult for him to breathe when his body's folded up like this. So this is going to be very interesting. A lot of Japanese competitors very prideful, certainly will not want to tap out. Rather pass out. Hold on.
Oh, shifts the hips into a pinning combination there. And a great way to escape. We saw that against Yuta. Now we see it against Daniels as Daniels connecting on the neck again of Shibata.
You can see the wear and tear already on Shibata. Shibata fighting to his feet, but you can see he is very weary, trying to get that oxygen. And the only way you can get that oxygen is by standing up.
Forearm connects from Shibata, the champion. Sends the challenger reeling into the corner.
Staggered Daniels. We're talking about the physical damage to Shibata, but now Daniels, a long tenured career and certainly has suffered some injuries himself.
Daniels follows Shibata in with the clothesline. I think of the knees, the neck, the shoulder injuries Daniels has sustained over the years. Of course, recently the eye, the damaged eye in the match against the Young Bucks just a couple of months ago.
There's almost 50 years of experience in this ring, Rick Abani.
As you see the triple X on the back of Daniels' pants signifying 30 years in wrestling as Shibata trying to just stand up, absorb these chops. And this almost fires him up. This gets him going. The open hands. Shibata connects with a forearm.
That's what I'm talking about. That one strike knocks Daniels to the ground.
Keep in mind, those are legal, Nigel. You know so well that these forearms, these open hands, maybe looking for a ref stoppage. He's in the ropes. Curious to see if that would be called a rope break as Shibata.
Watch out. Wide open.
Oh, goodness. He could have ordered a piece of satin and ate it before he landed.
Hydraulic drop kick in the corner from Shibata. The challenger is on thin ice. Half hatch there. Floats over. Cover. 2. 2 count only.
Just the 2 count. We'll see what Shibata does here. If I was in his position, I would look for some kind of hold, some kind of submission. And again, get Daniels to use up a rubber. Take a look at Daniels' face.
Yeah, the tongue is out. Tell him, Nigel, the tongue is out. What does that mean?
The forearm underneath the jaw there, across the carotid artery. Wait a second, this could be it.
Body locked.
Daniels could be going out. His face is beat red at this point. The tongue lolling as well.
He's out. He's gone.
And Daniels, the challenger. The challenger trying one last-ditch effort to make it to the ropes.
The referee sees it. It's over.
Referee Mike Posey in perfect position. Look at Daniels
Daniels still fighting.
He's fighting. Get to the ropes.
That is rope break number 2 used by Christopher Daniels.
Grit and determination as we see the judges again. The venerable Dean Malenko, Gary Lynn, and BJ Whitmer will score this if it goes the full 60 minutes. At this juncture, I'm not sure it's going to get close to that.
A jawbreaker, the point of the elbow to the neck. Daniels charging in. And Caprice, look at the way Shibata just absorbs one blow and dishes another.
That's what's so frustrating. No!
Oh, STO! Shibata right back up.
Daniels doesn't know it yet.
Oh, and one from Shibata.
Fighting spirit from the champion.
See how Shibata grabbed that wrist control immediately. Shibata is not going to let you get any space. He's always going to be on you.
Sign of a veteran experience there. Always have your hand on your opponent so you know where he is at all times.
Now maintaining control of the wrist, delivering those kicks right to the chest, right through the sternum. Oh!
Man, I tell you, those strikes, everyone, he can turn you out by a strike, he can submit you, or he can turn you.
It is again.
And back to the sleeper. Daniels on Dream Street here. Sleeper locked in. Oh, Daniels is out.
And that weight fully on him, too.
And here we go.
PK.
Oh. PK hooks the leg. 2 and got him.
The winner of this match and still Ring of Honor Pure Wrestling Champion, Katsuyori Shibata.
Shibata makes his first successful title defense of the Pure Championship. Nigel, you have to like what you saw.
A very impressive victory. Chris Daniels, a veteran of this industry, certainly no slouch. But the champion didn't need all his rope breaks, retaining the title in the exact same way as he won it from Wheeler Yuta.
And Caprice, you have to think as Shibata gets used to these rules, gets more accustomed to these rules, it's almost like a snowball rolling downhill. He might be unstoppable at some point.
Absolutely. You can see the way right there had the code of honor adhered to. Shibata's going to be a champion that honors this Pure title. And you're right. The longer he's ahead of it, the more he's going to get familiar with these rules, the more dangerous he's going to become. People are coming from all over the world for these titles, and Shibata's waiting for him. And I think he's going to be a great Pure champion because of it.
Code of honor adhered to. Katsuyori Shibata remains your Ring of Honor Pure champion here in the UBS Arena on Long Island.